I think it's here, the en bloc craze. We never get tired of it. Each and every property cycle, we'll be looking out for stories of people having windfall from selling their place en bloc. And recently, I just caught news also that this property, Chuan Park, is going for a collective sale of $938 million. Now, I didn't know that the wave of en bloc has already started. Today, I'll give you some details. Because 938 is a big project. It's not going to get sold that easily. Small plots like those that's 50 million, 100 million, very easy to transact under the radar. But once it's of this size, you realize that it hits the headlines. And it also got me thinking, are we going to see this wave pushing forward into 2022? Now let's look at some details on the Chuan Park offer. It's not completed yet, they just put it up. It's a 99-year leasehold project in Lorong Chuan. It's recently secured 80% mandate for its third collective sale bid after raising its reserve price to 938 million from 900 million. Now let me share with you some insights. So how it actually works from a consumer perspective is en bloc is something that's very sticky. Some people want to sell, some people don't want to sell. Some people always think that the price is not high enough. That's why we realized over there they raised the reserve price from 900 million to 938 million. An extra 4-5% just to entice that remaining few that's sitting on the fence who think that they are still selling at a too cheap a price. So once they raise the price, it's easier to collect names to get on board for the 80%. But again, raising price is not in favor of the developer that's going to acquire it, because the developer is business minded. They want to make a margin from it, correct? If they buy the land at too high a price, they're not going to be very confident of delivering a profit. So now this price has been raised to 938 million, and let's read on further. You realize that Chuan Park has actually failed in its bid in 2018, and that guiding price was 900 million. They actually reduced the price to 820 million back then. There was a wave. I brought my property in 2017 because I saw the en bloc wave also, and that wave actually persisted to 2018. So at that point of time, Chuan Park wanted 900 million, no offers. They reduced it just to continue that process. Since already gotten some momentum, but this time around they are raising it higher again, and they might cut back if there are no offers. If we read on further, their council has actually raised this guiding price to $938 million because they believe it is sustainable and still within the tolerance threshold of developers. This size again is big. If we look back at some of the bigger deals that's done on the 2017 cycle, one good example is actually Tampines Court, and that actually sold at $970 million. One of the bigger few in that wave itself. So Tampines Court, if I'm not wrong, is sold to lian. But right now, there are smaller ones moving already. And if this Chuan Park indeed gets sold, I think that momentum becomes very apparent. But let me show you some details of smaller ones, because maybe you're keen in understanding this whole en bloc cycle. And before you get that, I invite you to smash on like and press on subscribe, especially if you like news and discussion points on local markets. So what do we see? Flynn Park has actually been sold very recently in October. And that project is actually in Pasir Panjang. It actually sold for $371 million. And it was actually purchased by Hiap Ho Realty and Sunway Development. And they've actually bidded above the reserve price, which means there was some healthy competition over there. That reserve price was $365 million, but they offered $371 to close the deal. The per square foot worked out to be about $1,355. And again, this is not the development's first attempt at en bloc. In 2018, they tried to do so and ended up without a buyer. I actually did a curious search to see what are transaction histories for Flynn Park. Did anybody actually buy in 2019, 2020? And yes, there were. If we look at these two, there are transactions in 2019 itself. One of which, the latest one, seems to have profited quite a bit. But the one that is highlighted at the bottom, that transaction probably did not have that much of a profit, because if transaction price is 1355 now, there's certainly going to be stamp duties and possibly even seller stamp duties that this person might need to pay. But again, chasing en blocs, there can be some big windfalls, but some may not benefit that much at the end of the day also. So let's look at another transaction that's pretty recent. This is actually Maxwell House that is actually sold to Chip Eng Seng and Singhaiyi. Chip Eng Seng is, of course, a listed construction company. This deal is $276 million. And again, this deal size gets under the radar a bit because it's not a mega deal. It's something that many developers can swallow. If we look at details, this transaction price is above the original asking price of $268 million. Now, the owners actually wanted 295 million as of September 2020, but they've actually lowered their asking price. So again, it's always a negotiation cycle. If they can't get offers, they have to lower the price and then continue to put it out on the market. And once there's a wave, sometimes there's still competition and it gets a price that's above what they originally listed. So really have benefited. Leave your thoughts and comments in the sections below. I'll be keen to hear from you on this question. Do you believe 2022 will see big en bloc transactions? There are a few billion-dollar ones that are awaiting to get transacted. They've done so for many years. Are we going to see a mega deal in 2022 or not? Or even 2021? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment sections below. I'll be keen to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Take care and goodbye.